Jump scare. Howdy. For once, I was actually ready. I'm gonna. Oh, here we go. Capture card, desktop audio, perfect, awesome. So, it's back to Mario Kart Wii today. Back indeed. So, the last time I played this, there were quite a few CTGP updates that I had not played yet, and this time it's again that's the case. There's another CTGP update that actually came out between the time that I was playing the game offline yesterday and the time that I streamed today. So I'll have to update that before we get properly started in racing and worldwides here. But yeah, should be fun. Well, the game's gonna tell us what all has changed between the last update and now. I unplugged that noisy ass fan from the other part of my room, so it should be fine now. It should be just that you hear maybe a tiny bit of background hum. And I also changed the noise gate to be a little bit more sensitive and not less sensitive, so that whenever I'm speaking a little bit quieter, you can still kind of hear it. One of the issues I came across, and that you're gonna see in the next couple of videos that I upload, I think, is that on the quieter parts of me speaking, it actually cuts out every now and again because it's me speaking is actually too quiet to surpass the mic gate. But now that shouldn't be the case. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Thing that I just did. Okay. God, and Vosh has 400, almost 500 people just waiting for his stream. Must be nice. Well, I know the kind of shit that Vosh deals with on the daily, getting canceled and shit. He's also very abrasive. I don't know. Look. I'm trying to get there one day. But right now, I'm just dealing with what I have on my plate. Which is news. News indeed. I'll start with a video idea that I had, that I am working on. So, I'm working on this big old list of, like, online political terms that have come into parlance between the 1980s, I want to say, and now. So, like, the past 35 to 40 years. Because they might not be as familiar to folks who are in Generation X. That's my parents' generation. I'm aware that most of the people who watch my content, if you know, in as much as people do actually watch my content, are going to be on the younger side. But hopefully this will have something for everybody. And I had Gen Xers in mind in particular when I made this, when I started making this list of political terminology and what it means. And of course, keep in mind that this is going to be from a lens of an online socialist. So, you know, obviously there's going to be bias here from my personal experience and my political leanings, but I'm still, I think, doing my best to deliver what I believe to be a comprehensive definition of the things that I have encountered online that, well, I didn't really know what they were myself like 4 or 5 years ago. Everything from pretty standard stuff like the Overton window, neoliberalism, and manufacturing consent, to stuff like True Scum, Self-ID, Tanky, Swerf, and like the Nosble Vortex, which some people, you know, if you know any of those terms, cool, great. If you know most of those terms, you probably don't need to watch the video that I'm planning on making. But if there's anything that you don't know about in that list of things, then, you know, stick around on my YouTube channel, I guess. You'll see that coming out eventually. But while I'm waiting for this, I may as well talk about some of the other things that I thought were worth mentioning today. One of which being rare political unity. You guys know that I'm no fan of MAGA, Make America Great Again. Not a huge fan. It's been said many times, but I have a truly like once in a blue moon story from well this is let's see, the Daily Beast is reporting this, but it's actually from CNN, I think. Yeah, here we go. So, witness says Representative Ronnie Jackson was handcuffed and briefly detained during rodeo while trying to assist with a medical emergency. So, one of the representatives in Congress he's from Texas. His name is Ronnie Jackson. He's one of the MAGA Republicans. He's a member of the sort of far right bloc. But he is a doctor. He's a real doctor. As much as he engaged in some medical quackery during the Trump administration, he's a physician, and he's qualified to deal with medical issues. And he was attending a rodeo in Texas, which is the most Texan thing I think I've ever heard. When a teenage girl... Yeah, here we go, look. A home healthcare and traveling nurse said her 15-year-old relative was seizing due to possible hypoglycemia. I don't know what that means. I'm not a medical expert, but it causes seizures, and that's bad. At the White Deer Rodeo. Ronnie Jackson represents the area where the rodeo was happening and was an attendee at that rodeo. Let's see. Jackson, who is an ER physician, stepped in to assist. Okay. Schaus, the woman, said she didn't know Jackson was a congressman at the time, but told CNN they were all working together to help the teen girl. We're just waiting for EMS to get there. That's the emergency medical people, paramedics. The police came up. This is where shit hits the fan. The police came up, the deputies, highway patrol, and everyone was just screaming, "Get back, get back, get back," she said during an interview. Schaus said she was pushed back and then punched in the chest by a woman and said she saw a law enforcement official screaming in Jackson's face, telling him to get the fuck back. He was trying to tell them he was a doctor and probably trying to tell them who he was, to be honest. And they were screaming that they did not effing care who he was, she said. And the next thing I knew, they had him on the ground, grabbed him by the shirt, threw him on the ground, face first into the concrete, and had him in cuffs. Schaus said once they realized Jackson was a congressman and doctor, they uncuffed him and started apologizing. Of course they did. Cops are fucking bootlickers. But, they weren't in bootlicking mode when they slammed his face into the pavement. We had the scene under control. We were ready to give a report to EMS and get the patient out of there, and that's not what happened. She wound up going eventually, but whenever you have someone laying there, when it could be neurological, time is on your hands. Let's see here. Yeah, so fuck the cops. So in a rare instance of praise for Ronnie Jackson, he did his due diligence as a doctor. He was trying to help this girl who was having a seizure on the scene as they were attending this rodeo event. Meanwhile, the cops roll up, like many cops, not just one. It was like, what was it? It was the deputies and the sheriff's department or something. Yeah, deputies and highway patrol. So it was like a handful of cops came up and started shoving everybody out of the way, including the two people who were actually trying to help the girl who was having a seizure, and literally did violence to them. Smashed Ronnie Jackson's face into the pavement, and punched this woman in the chest, whose, I think, cousin or niece or something was having a seizure. And then proceeded to stand there and offer no help to anybody. This is one anecdote, but it is perfectly in line with my, with obviously my pre-existing beliefs, which is informed by the data that cops are fucking useless. I get the sense that, Ronnie Jackson, I don't think is going to change his opinions on this, but maybe this will pull somebody over to a very police critical position. Also, it's going really slow. It's getting there, though. It's getting there. It's getting there. Oy, oy, oy. I'm reminded of the Reuters article that I read on the other stream about how 40-something years of data indicate that cops do not actually stop or fight crime. Yeah. In fact, the bulk of what cops do is harass black people who are driving on the road. It's like 80-something% of what they do. Ah, come on. It's taking forever. I mean, there are some new tracks that are getting installed and stuff. Oh. Okay. It seems like the young girl who was having a seizure, she's at least okay, which is good to hear, but certainly no thanks to the cops involved. You know, in retrospect, I really should have started the update before starting streaming. I don't know how to read that name, but thank you for following. Thank you very much indeed. Just talking about some Hello, welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome to my Mario Kart Wii live stream, where I'm currently trying to install the updates for Mario Kart Wii. And it's taken a while. My Wii U is well, it's a Wii U, so it's old, it's running on a disc, it's you know. Jesus, how long is this gonna take? How big is this track? Okay, I'm gonna actually look up real quick CTGP updates. I want to see how big these tracks are. Uh-huh. Glacier Mine. That's a new track. Updated Delfino Island to a brand new version. DS Mario Circuit, brand new version. So there's 3 tracks being added. And then updates to the latest versions. So I'm assuming what's happening is like... Oh, whoa, hold on a minute. Actually, there's more. Alone and Incomplete, that's a new track. Mech Factory, that's a new track. DK Ruins, latest version, let's see, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 tracks that are getting updated to their, quote, latest versions. And then there's a few tracks, how many? It was like 3 or 2? There's 2 tracks that are getting a, quote, brand new version. And then there's 1, 2, 3 tracks that are entirely new to the pack just since yesterday. I was playing a couple live streams ago. I played this game and there were some cool updates that happened. And then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna play a little bit of Mario Kart offline, just to have fun, just to kill time while I was watching some other stuff on YouTube or whatever I was doing. And between the time that I stopped playing and started streaming today, there was another update. So, actually, there were 2 updates. This is, yeah, there's 2 separate updates for the new tracks, and then there's 2 supporting updates. Staff Ghost data and the supporting update required for new tracks to work. Yeah, okay. Very cool. I guess I can get on to some of the other things on my list as well. So I talked about Ronnie Jackson, politician from Texas, who is also a doctor and got beat up by the cops for trying to do doctor things. So fuck them. Fuck them cops. I could also talk about a little bit more menial, like, internet stuff as well. Right? No, actually, I want to save the more menial, like, not as heavy stuff for while I'm in-game, like, racing and stuff. Because that's a little bit easier to talk about off the cuff, and I don't need to, like, refer to a website or news article to do that. I think what I'd rather talk about right now is something that I do need an article to talk about, which means we're getting some good news right now. Where is that story? Here it is. Michigan is a state in the United States. Many people have said this. It also recently banned the use of conversion therapy on queer youths. Michigan is the 22nd state to outlaw the discredited practice of attempting to, quote, convert a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. Very cool, Michigan. Thank you. That's great. Is now banned for minors in Michigan. The conversion therapy is banned for minors in Michigan under legislation signed Wednesday by Governor Whitmer. Let's see, 22nd state to do so. Whitmer, who has a child who's a member of the queer community, said that this practice is horrific, and in Michigan, we want to foster an environment where you can be who you are, which is nice. She signed an executive directive in 2021 prohibiting the use of state and federal funds for conversion therapy. So this was kind of in the works already, which is also a good thing. It just took them a while, I guess, to get it through the legislature because while Michigan is majority, like, left-leaning in terms of, like, voter turnout, it's not by a very big margin, and obviously since it's the United States, there's going to be gerrymandering and stuff, which means that the legislature tends to change hands and oftentimes can be controlled by Republicans when they don't have popular support. That's one of the things that gerrymandering does, is it makes it so that you don't actually need to win the majority of votes to get the majority of seats in Congress. It's kind of like a more roundabout way of, you know how there are some like electoral dictatorships or whatever, where it's like, oh, this is the pro-government, pro-military party, and they're guaranteed to have 25% of the seats or something like that. It's kind of a different way of offering a certain political party a crutch, where they don't actually have to try. Although in Michigan, I don't think the Republican Party is going to be doing much of anything, seeing as they're broke, I'm pretty sure. They don't have a lot of money. Anyways. An estimated 15% of queer minors in Michigan have reported that they've been threatened with or subjected to conversion therapy as of 2022, according to the Trevor Project. Jeez, man. That's unacceptable. Well, that's not going to be a thing anymore. The ban was approved by the Michigan State Senate last month in a 21-15 vote, with one Republican siding with Democrats. Oh, cool. Good for them. Queer rights advocates have decried the practice of conversion therapy for years, citing research suggesting the practice can increase the risk of suicide and depression. Yeah, I'm surprised that it wouldn't be more direct of a correlation than that. I have a feeling that being repeatedly told by adults that you are invalid and need to conform and whatever, and that you're an abomination towards God, that can have some pretty disastrous mental consequences. Protecting the rights of Michigan's queer community has been a priority for Democrats since they took control. Nice. And, just was finishing up that story, the update is now done installing. Ajoute un nouveau circuit, a lone and incomplete Glacier Mine and Mech Factory. 3 new tracks, mise à jour vers une toute nouvelle version. Delfino Island, Mario Circuit for DS, DK Ruins, or no, actually just those 2. Vers sa version actuelle would be DK Ruins, Alpine Skyway, okay, Dino Jungle, and Mansion of Madness. Very cool. Thank you. Mario Kart Wii custom track thing. Alright, let's launch the game. Also, yes, I do have my CGGP channel in French. Because I'm a certified baguette. And also I want to learn. I've been learning French for the past few years. To the point where I actually now consider it my second language. I can speak it enough to actually get by in a francophone country. As I proved when I went to Morocco a couple of months ago with family, and I did decently well just getting by on what French I knew. But that's besides the point. I mean, it doesn't need to be besides the point if you guys actually want me to talk about that. Then I can. Now let's go to another story. Got that one out of the way. Very good. Custom tracks worldwide. Hell yeah. It's fucking T-posing on you, asserting his dominance. And I'm also T-posing. Alright, lock bike. Let's go. Where is that story? Is it Raw story? It is. Okay, okay. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. So, this is probably... okay, to set this up for context, it's like a little story that I'm setting up using a huge news story. This was the indictment heard round the world, or some shit like that. Donald Trump has been arraigned for election crimes and shit. He attempted a coup, and the law does not like that. So he's being, he has been arraigned, and he's gonna face trial for that sometime. I think that, like, somebody said, like, in 2024 is when the trial is gonna start. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, Trump's gonna face some accountability for his actions, for his lies, for all that stuff. Or more accurately, for the violence that he incited using things that he knew were false. And, you know, the methods with which he tried to, like, brute force the election to go a different way. And I wouldn't have expected this, but he's actually losing people over this. You know, there is an element of cult behavior where people are just as deranged as ever. I see the same person is entering and dropping out. But there was one story, again, that gives me a little bit of optimism for the direction of this country, in some sense. It's very limited, but I need my hopium, goddammit. Let's see, from Raw Story. Conservative cries bitter tears after Trump allies admit election lies. Quote, "It was all BS." So, this guy is named Steve Deese. You've probably never heard of him. And that's fine, because I had never heard of him either before this story. He was talking about... He's talking about, let's see, he's got a podcast and whatnot, as do a lot of, you know, right-wing media personalities and whatnot. Blaze TV, yeah, okay. He complained bitterly that Trump's allies admitted to lies about the election that he helped spread. Initially, he opposed Trump, and then he was a Trumper in 2020. Okay, that seems fairly standard for a lot of Republicans. Much to his belated chagrin, indeed. Okay, so this is the meat of the story. This is a quote from him. "We are going to the mattresses for these people. We are offering them more accommodations, more chances than we'd offer our own family members, for goodness sake." Pretty telling and kind of a self-report, but regardless. And for what? For Rudy Giuliani to go down to Georgia and admit that he lied? Have Jason Miller tell the January 6th Commission, yeah, we knew it was all BS? What is this? Some of you don't like it when I use the cult word. When you like being treated like a schmuck and ask for more, that's a cult. I'm the mark, I'm the sucker, I want to be such, and I resent the person who tries to get me out of that. Those are the marks of groupthink, frankly. How many people in this audience sent money to the Stop the Steal movement 3 years ago? He continued. How many shows did I waste your time talking about this 3 years ago? How many? I still have not recovered. Between election fraud and COVID, I probably have the lowest Facebook following of any major show in this industry. This is pretty indicative of the money that is behind most like conservative, like media shows and whatnot on the online space. They get a lot of money from right-wing investors to try to signal boost their message. It's like Facebook is like, we won't ban you because you'll whine about it and generate a bunch of publicity, so we'll just make it so no one sees your material at all. Why? Because I went to the mattresses on COVID and the election fraud issue, only to have Rudy Giuliani say, yeah, I was lying, and Jason Miller say, oh, we knew it was all BS. So here we have, this is an exceptionally rare showing. This is a niche public figure, but public figure nonetheless, saying, we've been conned. We thought that these people were genuinely, like, had our interests in mind when they were saying all this stuff about COVID and the election and whatever. And we've been conned. And it's been a cult the whole time. And that's a hard thing to admit. That's a hard thing to come to terms with. And I want to extend some genuine credit and condolences to Steve Deese. This is probably the only time I will do that. Because it's really hard to acknowledge that. If you're in a cult, you know, getting deprogrammed is the hardest part. Even though cults have this thing where they wear you down and do all sorts of shit to you. But getting out of it, that's a whole nother story. And I can't find any opponents for some reason. Come on, please. You know what? If I can't find anybody online, I will just play the new custom tracks offline to get a sense of familiarity with them. And then I'll go online. Because that would be content. Is this representative of some sort of mass deprogramming? I don't think so. Not yet, at least. But it is sort of... It's another pinprick in the sort of cycle of death by 1,000 pinpricks, right? Donald Trump still maintains a very cult-like following. But one by one, there seem to be some people that are realizing that they've been basically waist deep in, like, getting suckered for the past several years. Hey, Mr. Bit 800 VR. Thanks for doing this whole 1v1 charade with me. Let me see. Where is one of these new custom tracks? So there it is, Alone and Incomplete. Let me do that one. And this represents a rare bit of sympathy that I have for certain right-wingers, which I would not have had a little while ago. Might not have had. Because while some of them are sort of hooked on their own grift, I want to say, you know, there are some right-wingers out there who are genuinely, like, who are genuinely, like, unaware enough that they're being taken advantage of, that they could feasibly be brought out of it. I think that's good motivation for maybe not extending a whole lot of sympathy, but some at the very least. I don't know how much it would actually change their principles, if at all. But you know, like I said, I need a little bit of that hopium, you know. entirely possible that this guy is still a fascist. It's just a fascist who doesn't like Trump once all is said and done here. You know? And, you know, as much as I do want to have that hopium and stuff, what I also don't want to do is, engage in the sort of liberal trope of rehabilitating, crazy right-wingers after their time has sort of come and gone, you know? They did this with, George Bush, you know, once Trump got in office. I love this music. Sneaky banana. Don't need that. Also don't need that. Okay. +6, -6. I'll take it. Sure. What else did I have? Oh yeah, God, this harkens back to some old school shit. No, god damn it, New York Times. Okay. Alright. Anybody who knows my channel might remember from way back in the day, I did a video segment about polling. Something as boring as political polling. Political science. That kind of shit. Right? And I have some more to say about that, right? So the 2024 elections are coming up, the next year. And because of how elections work in the United States, there's this fucking big dog and pony show about, like, who's polling ahead of who. It's like a horse race, basically. Whoa, what is this? I don't know which way's faster. I don't get it, dude. No, dude, god damn it. I thought I was being smart by following him, but no, it just drove me off the edge. Okay. Going this way. Whoa, what's that other guy doing? No, 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 turn. Okay. We're good. I honestly don't know which way is faster than what, so I'm just gonna play it safe and stick to the actual road. What was I saying? I think I was talking about, Yeah, polling. Okay. So there's there's a bunch of different like groups that do polling, right? One of them is actually the New York Times themselves. They don't do it alone. They team up with a group called Siena. So you'll see sometimes like, oh, this New York Times slash Siena poll said this and this other thing and whatever, right? And there was one of those a little while ago. One of the first official polls about like presidential numbers and like who's going to be favored in the presidential race, which don't actually mean anything right now. They never mean anything until the election has actually happened already. That's one of the issues I take with polling, which I'll get into. But this poll had Donald Trump and Joe Biden both at 43% support, excuse me, with 14% for other/don't know, right? The problem with this poll is the small text. The small text that is intentionally almost the same color as the white background to make it harder to read. Because that's, it's the part they want you to not focus on. The New York Times Siena College poll of 1,329 registered voters nationwide, including an oversample of 818 Republican voters, was conducted by telephone using live operators from July 23rd to 27th, 2023. Right? So, this is a bad poll, right? It's scientifically speaking. There's a term, in political science, you'll actually hear people say this. This is a bad poll. It's like not scientifically viable or useful, And the reason for that is well, there are many reasons, but one of them is that very obvious oversampling, right? They polled Republicans specifically. 800 to 500 Republicans to Democrats to get that even result, which means they went into that poll not with a methodology in mind that they could use to get a good representative answer, but with an answer in mind that they would have to develop a methodology around. They already knew that they wanted Trump and Biden to be even with this chunk of people saying undecided or don't know, or like other. So they basically, what I'm trying to say is they fudged the poll. This is fudged data. I did it. Am I in first? No, that other guy's in first. Wow, he's way up there. So that's one part of it, right? The whole, like, deliberately polling more Republicans than Democrats to get this result. And I think that's the most damning part, the most damning and important indicator here. Oh. But there's another part of this, too, that might have escaped some people's notice. Which is that this poll was conducted by phone. And when they say by phone, I think they mean by... God damn it. Alright. No. Okay. Ah, he got me. Whoever used that POW is really smart. I'm in first. Nice. So I think I've talked about this before, but I'll mention it again. The phone bias. This poll, like polls like this, when you conduct them by phone are inherently biased towards conservatives, because those people are more likely to have landline phones. They're more likely to pick up when a rather, it's more biased in favor of conservatives by way of also being more biased against in favor of like old people, because old people are more politically active and are more likely to have are more likely to pick up when they're called by a pollster and things like that. All that to say, this is a bullshit poll. And it actually indicates, I think, the opposite of what the New York Times Siena wants it to indicate, right? They're interested in selling the sort of clickbait narrative that, oh my god, it's neck and neck between Biden and Trump, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have done the poll this way to specifically get that result, that answer. What they didn't intend to show, that they did end up showing, is that Trump's goose in the election is kind of cooked, right? Because it's very early, and the historically how voting demographics in the United States tend to work is that the Democrat usually picks up steam as the election goes on. And when I say historically, I mean like post-party switch, and especially what recent trends with like mail-in voting and stuff would suggest. Dude, whoever's using these POWs is a genius. I need to do this right this time. There we go. Got it. But polling like that just sort of makes me simmer a little bit, you know, under the surface. If you guys haven't seen it, there's an infamous newspaper article that says Dewey defeats Truman in the 1940 something presidential election. Dewey lost, by the way. Truman beat Dewey in that election. So that was a bad poll. And it illustrates a more widespread problem with polling that is partially inherent to the commercial nature of polling in situations like this, which is, like I said last time, polls in the United States are very much like the scattershot disinformation that comes out of Russia, where polling groups, polling orgs, and like firms and whatever will predict every possible and impossible outcome, so that whenever anything happens, they can say, hey, look, we predicted this. It's right here in this poll. Pay no mind to the hundreds of other polls that all predict wildly different things. If you go to 538, you'll see this, where 538 will be like, oh, this many scenarios has this candidate winning, where this many scenarios has this candidate winning. It's a fancy way of making you think that they're saying something useful without actually saying anything at all. You know, because they've said, well, you know, the Democrat could win, or the Republican could win. Like, great, thank you. Why do we have you around, by the way? The difference between the US and Russia is that Russia does that on purpose, you know? Whereas pollsters do it by virtue of, like, trying to generate headlines and like, getting an audience to repeat view their polls and stuff. A lot of pollsters aren't doing that sort of disinformation thing maliciously. A lot of them probably genuinely believe that they're like, oh, we're helping deliver information about the election, you know, in maintaining an informed public or whatever. Which, of course, is not the case. Alright, lap 3. Very nice. I'm kind of farming this room so far. I didn't mean to do that. Nice. Whoever used that POW, it was like, whoever's using these POWs is very smart about how they're using them. I will give them full props for that. Being extra safe this time. Yay, I win. And like I said the last time I did a video on this, these kinds of polls do not drive voter turnout for the left, I don't think. They're not very good at that. In fact, they can only be a detriment to the left, where they don't have any such effect on the right. Because even though, like, what happened in the 2020 election was there were a lot of right-wingers that didn't vote, the right-wingers are going to look at any news that doesn't favor them and simply decry it as fake news, and it's not going to really affect their worldview very much. It's not going to affect their outlook. They're that deranged. Whereas liberals and leftists, having some degree of adherence to the facts more so than conservatives, are going to see that and take it more seriously, in which case it's going to actually affect whether or not they vote. And the more you make it seem like the more you make it seem like oh, I don't know, the Republican could win or whatever, the more of a like turn-off effect that it has, I think. Or like, you certainly don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's a foregone conclusion one way or the other, because that'll definitely get liberals to stay home. But you don't want to be in the business of disinformation like this, is what I'm trying to say, because that doesn't do a lot for people's confidence in news media institutions, even though there's already plenty of reason to not have very much confidence in news media institutions. You know, this shit ain't helping, basically. Is that faster, what I just did? Huh. Did he get hit out of that? No, he didn't. Okay. I'm gonna just throw this. I know he's not gonna get hit by it. Yeah. Oh, that was clever. Ow! Holy shit. Ow. Dude, we're all racing on the edge right now. Holy shit. I can't let go of my red shell because he's got one right behind me. Oh shit, okay. That was kind of close with that pokey there. Holding on to this green shell. Just kidding. Oh, that's even better. Triple bananas. Let's go. Whew. Tight battle. Tight battle. Fuck the pollsters. They're bad for democracy. Voter apathy and such. I was gonna talk about other stuff too. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I was texting my dad about this morning. Holy shit. So, oh my god. More Perfect Union had a good video on this. So there's a group in the United States. In other countries, this would be a political party, but the United States has a two-party system, so it doesn't quite work that way. This group is called No Labels. Despite what the name may say, or maybe because of what the name may say, they are centrists. You know, the whole like not left nor right, but forward. And then you look inside and they're actually fascists, which is actually what ended up happening. The No Labels group did a town hall, and More Perfect Union, union group, like union-related news and whatnot, sent some people to this town hall to see what was all going on. You know, see what's going on with these centrists, and a lot of them came away saying like, yeah, this really just serves the right wing. This is like a pro-Trump ordeal here. You know, this is designed to siphon votes away from Joe Biden and the Democrats. Shit, that was close. Ow. That's so true. I'm getting kind of owned this race, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. Ooh, that's fun. No, I hit my own banana, god damn it. Alright, give me this item. Ooh, I like that. Somehow didn't get hit by that thundercloud, and now I'm in second. Through some grace of God. That's kind of wild. No! I can never fucking memorize these guys' movement patterns. No! Son of a... Ah! Annoying. I'm probably gonna get blown out this race. Bro, he almost target shocked me there. That would have been devastating. Oh my god. Ooh. Get a fourth. Ugh. It's kind of rough. Well, we played the new version of that track. I don't know what exactly about it was different. Ouch. That's fine. Let's see, what did the folks have to say? We sent cameras to a meeting of this corporate-funded group trying to sow chaos in the 2024 election and elect Donald Trump. centrist group called No Labels, describes itself as a centrist campaign to, quote, bring people together. But it's actually a front for running a third party candidate to siphon votes from Joe Biden. As is the case with any, like, not insane fascist third party. To Obstagoon's Palace. What do the attendees, excuse me, at No Labels Town Hall think about their new endeavor? This guy says, I think it's about running a third-party candidate that'll siphon votes from Joe Biden and put Donald Trump back in the White House. Other guy says it's a pro-Trump sort of thing. It really is. This other guy still says, actually, there's another other guy. I think this org would do better to recruit Liz Cheney for the presidential nomination so that it would carve into the Republican vote rather than a Joe Manchin carving into the Democratic vote. Basically, the consensus is, yeah, these guys are either dumb or, like, malicious. And I agree. Like, really, that's what's going on here. I see. Okay. Oh, I got somebody. Nobody's gonna hit that, yeah. Makes sense. Ah, very cool. Ooh, good attempt. Ah, that would have been sick. I'm kind of gaining on him a little bit. Ha! Got him! What a tight battle! Let's fucking go, dude. That was sick. Ow. I hit the cone. I hope there's not a blue shell coming for me. I know there very well could be, but you know, I can hope. Ooh. Another fake item box. Oh, did I hit somebody? That's interesting. Am I gonna win? I think I'm gonna win. In before blue shell and shock. Mins. Hi. Mines? Mins? I don't know how to pronounce that. Welcome to the chat. Always good to see new faces. New names, new faces, and stuff. That was a tight battle for a little while, and then I kind of ran away with it. Okay. 8 players? We take those. 8-player room? Let's go. That's content right there. Content waiting to happen. I was hoping to get a chance to play some of the new tracks on stream today. I played, what was it, Alone and Incomplete? Story of My Life. But I played that one. It was pretty cool. A little bit kooky. Couldn't quite understand how it worked. Fell off a couple of times. Can I join the Worldwides? Yeah, just, you know, go right ahead. Yeah, absolutely you can. This isn't like a private room or anything. This is just regular old online Mario Kart. What was one of the other new tracks? They said Dino Dino Jungle got a new version, so maybe I'll try that one. Yes, no labels. Oh yeah, the one thing that I found that was interesting about the no labels group is that they're tied to a extremist billionaire. There's this one guy. He's like the new billionaire boogeyman. Gotta set up, then I'll join. No problemo. His name's Harlan Crow. He has a lot of money invested in the Supreme Court in particular. He has basically bought 2 or 3 of the 9 justices or something like that. Really scummy behavior. And apparently, the same guy who is invested in like ultra-conservative Supreme Court justices is also invested in has invested money in this supposedly centrist political group, No Labels. So good to know that it's literally just a far-right op and not a whole lot else, like pretty transparently. Is this a shortcut? Yes, it is. Ow. Get me out of here, dude! Ow. Damn it. It always seems to be the case that, like, you get centrists and whatnot. You get, in the United States, this might actually be the first time this has happened. But, like, I remember reading about the Netherlands Center Party, where you, like, alright, now let's see what's under the hood. You pull up the hood, it's just fascism. It's like, oh, okay. Like, the Netherlands Center Party had the slogan, neither left nor right, and then, like, literally, like, Wikipedia article listed their ideology, like, yeah, they're far right, by the way. I was like, oh, okay. Look at my centrist dog. We ain't never getting liberalism. Because we already have liberalism. They're just up front, usually. This track is really nice. I'm holding on to this mushroom. I know I'm probably gonna get red shelled or something. But, see, the curse of this is that the closer I get to the finish line, the more the mushroom is actually going to come in handy. So, I say that as I spend that mushroom and... Okay, shop. I should be okay, though. Yeah. Yay. I win the race. That's a nice song. Kind of crazy that this No Labels group. I actually don't know who No Labels, that like the centrist party, is supposed to appeal to. Because in the United States, there are 2 types of centrists, right? If you hear the label centrist, that means 2 things. They're just a Democrat. That's number 1. If they like actually have certain centrist liberal like political positions, they might or might not describe themselves as centrist. They vote for Democrats. Or they're a fascist who knows that just saying they're a fascist looks really bad, and so they put on the mask of centrist, in which case they're voting Republican. And in both of those cases, you need my friend code. Oh, yeah, give me... I'm gonna, I guess I'm locked in, so I have to do this one, this race, and then I can give you my friend code. In both cases of, like, centrists, their mind is made up. They're not, like, opining for some third option where people don't actually have any, like, what's the term? Any coherent political opinions. There we go. Take your time. Yeah, I got you. I'm actually trying to have a better mindset about that, lately. Because when yesterday, it was not 2 days ago, it was yesterday, I was going to stream, I might have streamed this, I might have streamed something else. And then, like, I got up, and it was one of those days. Like, sometimes I get depression as sort of a gradual increase of like, apathy and sort of lethargy and whatnot. And sometimes it just hits all at once. And yesterday morning, it really just hit all at once. And it gave me these two feelings that my dad and I often are familiar with whenever we hit either a very anxious spell or a very depressive spell. We get restless and aimless at the same time, right? Like, I feel like I should be doing something, but it's like nothing that I could do really makes me feel like it's worthwhile, if that makes sense. It's like the cliche where people describe, you know, the things that used to be fun just aren't fun anymore. That sort of happens to me whenever I get that, like, depression happens all at once. But then it also affects my ability to do productive stuff like video editing and streaming. Oh, dude, it's the voices. Person I was interacting with a lot yesterday. That's a joke, by the way. I don't actually know that person. I was making a joke about, haha, the voices in my head. But then I went outside and I touched grass. I took a nice walk, and it was real nice. Nice. Ouch. And that's why today, you know, after that walk, I felt a lot better. And that's why today, I actually think I'm in a much better state of mind to, like, play this game. Because I actually don't care. Despite me, like, trying to shut up or not trying to shut up. Despite me functionally, like, not talking while the races are happening, that's just because I want to race well enough for it to be, like, enjoyable content. I don't care that much whether I lose a million billion VR points, because if you guys, any more long-term viewers of my stream will remember, that happened to me. I used to be at 9,700 VR, and I lost, like, more than 1,000 in a single session of playing, and that, like, basically killed my enthusiasm for Mario Kart for the better part of 7 months. It kind of sucks. But, you know, on days like this where I'm able to take to heart, like, look, this is, as cliche as it is, this is literally just a game, and it's stupid, and I don't need to worry about, points that, like, mean nothing, except for, I don't know if there's some element of skill-based matchmaking in this game. The point is, I can play this game regardless of what my points, Mario Kart points say about me. And I can stream this game regardless. You know, the points represent no meaningful barrier to me playing this game. Unless I get below, what is it, like 4,000, and then you get banned or something, because they assume, like, okay, you have to be trolling at this point. Alright. I will leave the room after, once this race is done, so I can get my friend code out there. Same thing happened to me last night. I was at 9.3k and I got lost in a 5k playroom and lost 1,200 in one session. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. I was up till 5 in the morning trying to get it back. Yeah, in situations like that, it's rough. Oh, it was a 9,000. Oh, the voices guy was a 9,000 player. Okay, well, I'm leaving this room. That sucks so much. That's such a gut punch. Alright, friends, I guess? Register a friend. Or not, actually, there's my friend code on screen. feel free to enter it. While we're on this, I might as well talk about something that's more internet relevant. You know, a lot of the politics I talk about is real world shit, and especially for like for a younger audience, but also for a normie audience. I get the sense that normies aren't the types to read like NBC or something on the daily. You know, that's a little bit of a previous generation thing. But what people probably do is what people probably will do is like I actually forget how to do I have to register you, or do you have to like send one to me and I just accept? Yeah, okay. Let me disconnect from the server, see if there's something I have to do. License settings, maybe? Probably not, but you know. Here, hold on. Ah, yes. Okay, so I will have to enter your friend code as well. All right, so I can start getting on the other thing that I wanted to talk about. What people in my audience probably are more familiar with, given that this is Twitch and Twitch skews to younger folks. I say that like I'm a Gen Xer. Fuck, I'm 22. Well, Twitch itself and other Twitch streamers and shit like that. In fact, you've probably, if you're on Twitch, you probably know the name XQC. He is I forget if he's French or if he's like Quebecois and like speaks French mostly. Here we go. But he is ESL, and he's a big dumb himbo. And ordinarily, I would hella respect that. If it weren't for the fact that, like, he got in some hot water recently over stealing content. This is something that frequently, like, Twitch streamers will... Well, maybe not frequently, but occasionally Twitch streamers will get in trouble for, is, you know, React content, watching, like, copyrighted stuff. I don't know. But he did a particularly egregious example recently where he, like, started up a video, just got up and left, and, like, let the video play and then came back, and, like, barely did any reacting to the video. It seems like there's something like that every so often. You know? Ah, there you are. I'm going to go back into a CT Worldwide's room, if that's alright, and I'll let you know when to join. Or, I mean, you can see the stream, you'll know when to join. Oh, one other person? Let's go. 1v1? I love 1v1s. They're very silly. Yeah, okay. I know Hassan Abi has done React content as well, and he's actually gotten some hot water over the way he does React content on occasion. Uh, I've done. I don't know if I've done React content. I've done like a debate review, believe it or not. I've watched debates and given my perspective on like whose arguments are stronger on any given thing, whatever. That's a little bit like politics brained as far as like content goes. But that actually made me think that I wanted to do some React content to some stuff that I thought would be really cool. And of course there is a good way to do React content, and I think it is a keystone form of content that I think is integral to the Twitch live streaming format. You watch a video and you and your chat are both learning about something, and you're like commenting on the things that you're learning on. But obviously I would expect there to be some meaningful nice. Next race, maybe? We'll see if anybody's actually in this room, but... Disconnected. Okay, makes sense. Oh boy. But there is something that I think should be maintained about React content, which is like you can learn something new. I've learned new stuff from React content that I would not have learned if I just watched the video, the original video itself. Part of that comes from if you're watching a just start a worldwide. I don't know if I can do that. Like if you're watching, for example, I'm politically on the left, so if I watched a right-wing video, if I watched like a PragerU video or whatever, I would have plenty to comment on. And like a lot of other people on YouTube have done that as well, where they comment on a video that they watch that they don't like or don't agree with necessarily. And they, you actually get to see some clashing perspectives and whatever. And that's a really good form of React content. I think it's actually a little bit harder to do good React content if it's a video that you don't have as much of an ideological problem with, or if there's not a whole lot for you to disagree with in the video. It means that you would have to add something. You would have to like, I don't know, maybe provide some validating anecdotes to like why this video makes sense, or like why, oh, this is relevant to my life or whatever, something like that. But you can still do it. And in fact, I might want to find a video for that one day, one time or another. Disconnect from the server. I don't know what video I would do it with though. God, as much as, sometimes I get the content brain flowing and I put out like a banger of a YouTube segment or whatever. Sometimes I'm just not good at not good at having a nose for content. Like, there's stuff that I think is interesting and I think like, oh, this would make a good YouTube video. Maybe not a lot of other people would agree with. I'm in a room with 8 people. Join me. Oh, okay. I will do that. Thank you. Very cool. I'm T-posing on him. Yes! Big room, big people, big activity. Bro, what the hell? What? What? Fucking Dio, my nemesis from the one other time? I remember some of these people from when I was streaming Mario Kart last year. As far as XQC goes, right? With XQC himself, I think the critiques of how he does React content are warranted. And I think that, if the way you're doing React content is like kind of like barely doing all the cliches, like wow, damn, that's crazy, bro. Not like really adding anything. I think that you could stand to crack down on that a little bit harder. You know, if you wanted to, if you're a YouTube or Twitch or whatever platform, you know, you could crack down on that a little bit harder. But I would encourage it. I would encourage an approach that relies on the assumption that people would be adding something to the content. So like you don't by default strike down React content or whatever, because YouTube and Twitch especially, I mean YouTube especially, and Twitch sometimes, have a habit of like applying way too heavy-handed stuff to like content that they don't like. For example, copyrighted music. If you have copyrighted music in your video for however long, YouTube is watching for that like a hawk, to such an extent that like video games have a streamer mode where like they play all royalty-free music or music that's fine to be played on YouTube, so that you don't get copyright striked or like DMCA'd for YouTube like Let's Plays and whatever. And I think you shouldn't be applying that standard at the very least. Obviously, I'd leave some of the finer details to like policy heads and things like that. They'd be in a better position to determine this stuff than me. I'm not an expert. What's up, Dio? But I am both a live streamer and a YouTuber in a very loose sense of the word. You know, not a very big live streamer or YouTuber, you know, as my view count clearly shows, but I do care about this stuff from the perspective of like, dare I sound pretentious, artistic creation, things like that. And mostly I'm approaching this also from like a quasi-political and academic stance, where a lot of the academic world relies on critiquing work that already exists. You know, like studies will come out that are actually, you know, meta studies, that they compile a bunch of other studies and comment on them, or like philosophy papers will just go back and forth in some sort of debate format, you know. Please don't hit me. Okay. I was so afraid that green shell was going to hit me. I guess I need to be taking the bottom route, huh? Ow! God damn it! Haha, I hit him. Number 1 victory royale. I'm not number 1. I'm in 3rd right now. Oh, speaking of, oh man, this is so nerdy, but I want to talk about something that I had been thinking about for a little while. So I graduated from college a year ago and like a couple of months. I've been out of college for about a year, a little more than a year actually, and I was a anthropology major. I'm an anthropologist. I'm trained in archaeological methods and stuff, and for damn it, for my senior year project, I had to do a bachelor's thesis, right, to get my bachelor's degree, and so that meant like, oh, you have to pick a research topic, right, and it had to be related to anthropology. So I was like, okay, let's do something that I had an introduction to a little while ago that I will generally know where to look. I was like, okay, Haiti. You know, there was a big earthquake that happened in Haiti when I was in elementary school. I remember hearing about it when it first happened. And from what I learned in another class, the rebuilding effort after the earthquake was a total disaster. Like, to this day, Haiti has not been rebuilt from that. 12, 13 years ago. Haiti is still not rebuilt. And I was like, okay, Why is that? And that ended up being a landmine of a question, right? You know, like, why was the rebuilding effort in Haiti a failure after the 2010 earthquake, something like that? It was either late 2010 or early 2011, something like that. I just remember I was 10 years old when it happened. And so I wrote this research paper, and it ended up being I bit off at some sections. I might have bitten off a little bit more than I could chew, because it's like, okay, to analyze why the rebuilding effort after 2010 was a disaster, we got to go all the way back to the Haitian Revolution, because Haiti was basically doomed from the start, right? And there's a lot of things that I think I did kind of sloppy in that paper. I passed. I passed my class. I have my degree now, and that's awesome. But I actually kind of want to go back and research that again. You know, because believe it or not, I think college didn't adequately prepare me to finish college. You know, in high school, I didn't read a lot of academic literature, not a lot of, like, articles and textbooks and whatever. I mean, the textbook books were something, but you weren't really meant to read them the way you're meant to read articles in college. So what ended up happening is freshman year of college happened, and I just sort of got dropped in, and I was, like, reading stuff from people who had master's degrees and PhDs already, and who were, like, published in the field and whatever. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of wild. I don't know how to handle this, you know. And so I was really kind of struggling for the longest time in college, and it was hard for me to develop critical thinking skills as a result. Not exactly what I wanted, but I'll take it, I guess. And so, basically, what I'm trying to get at is, even in senior year, when I was doing my, like, big research project, I wasn't very good at reading academic literature and stuff, and, like, analyzing it the way you would need to do for research, you know? You know, that stuff was hard for me. But now I'm a lot better at it. I've had practice doing it outside of college, just because I actually chose to do that. God. The track is messing me up. You know, I think I could go back and look to a certain degree and have better results. The one thing I might still struggle with is patience, ultimately. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Sorry, bro. I had to get it off my hands somehow. It was you or me in that situation. All right. No, I overshot it. What? I didn't even know that could happen. All right. Well, I'm getting cooked this race, kind of. What? Third? How's that even... okay, well. That was a tight race, wow. Kind of surprised. Shoutouts to Nocturne, that guy's gaining hella points. I don't know exactly how I would redo it. I think... Okay. Grantham, long time no see. Indeed, welcome to the stream, and it's actually good to be back playing Mario Kart. I just had to get in the right mood and marinate for 7 months after I got my ass kicked in you know, in Worldwides. If I were to redo my Haiti research project, I think it would actually be better if I didn't do it as specifically an anthropological research thing. That's one thing. Okay. I remember my professor, was in first Blue Shell, got stuck in the hit animation for 5 seconds before falling off. That is rough. The closest comparable thing that happened to me is I like fucked up that shortcut on Warp Pipe Island 2 laps in a row. The first time I undershot, the second time I overshot, which I didn't know was possible. My professor was like an unironic believer in how anthropology was its own thing and needed to remain separate from the other like social sciences and whatever. Kind of like economists do, which is cringe as fuck. I never really liked that, but that ended up influencing how I did my research, because I was like, okay, well, I can't pull from things that aren't anthropology. Like my professor made that kind of a rule almost, so I was like kind of limited. I was like, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Ended up being a whole thing. There's a lot of history, like history stuff, and sociology stuff, and economic stuff that I think I would need to include if I did that research project again. Get me out of here. Shock dodge, let's go. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's like, what's done is done. You know? In fact, if I were researching anything, it might even be something else. Like, my parents have encouraged me to consider grad school, and things like that. Which, I am considering it. I'm considering it very seriously, but I don't know if I actually want to do it. I went too far to the left there. Ow. He also hit a banana. I don't know what's gonna... I don't know what's going on behind me. I'm gonna be real, guys. I just need to offload a banana. I don't want it. I'll be real. I'm actually kind of glad I got rid of both of those items. That presents now a slightly bigger obstacle to people behind me, because you know, we all got shocked. Nobody has an item right now. Alright. I gotta remember now. Less to the left when I'm doing that shortcut. Or when I'm going off that ramp. About here. Huh. Yeah, I guess not. Alright, I will, take this turn like so. Oh, die! Well. Third place. We take those. I'm gonna be real, I don't know how that track works still. Not a huge fan of this one. Yeah, I actually... What did it replace? It replaced something, right? Here, hold on. What was this track? Naked and Afraid? Alone and Incomplete. Okay, cool. Replace GP Mario Beach? Honestly, I might prefer Mario Beach. Might be the best off-the-cuff joke I've made, but a little bit too late to clip that. Take this one over GP Mario Beach any day, though? Really? Okay. You know what? that track could be made better with some color correction, right? It's a little bit too bright, I think. The colors are too, not very easy on the eyes. I think if you fix the colors to make it a little bit more obvious where the road is and where you're meant to go, you know, then it's like a lot better. Ice Cream Fortress. This is a fun one. Oh, dude, why do I fucking... I have some other stuff written down on my list as well that I kind of want to talk about. I guess I'll get into the Florida related story because everybody loves shitting on Florida, and I do too. It's my favorite state to hate. They a little while ago, Florida actually banned AP Black History. You know, in high school, you can take a bunch of AP History courses if you want. Barely didn't die. But apparently in Florida now you can't take Black History because the Florida Department of Education has banned that class. Like, it's no longer allowed to be taught in high schools and stuff. That happened, I think, a couple of months ago. But recently they did something also pretty crazy. They banned another class. This time AP Psychology, I think. I got that hit. No, I've been hit. How did I not? What's going on? How did I just bump into that guy and not get squished? But anyways, the inanities of this game aside, okay, almost fell off there. Florida, I guess I should elaborate on what I mean by banned, right? Florida was like, we disagree with certain material, we don't want certain material in this class being caught, so we're going to mandate that if you have this class, you have to not have this material, right? That's how they ended up banning the AP Black History course. Because what happened was they removed a bunch of stuff, and then they were like, okay, now that's our version of this class. And the College Board was like, well, if you're leaving this much out, you can't call it AP Black History anymore, right? Like, you have to have certain stuff to consider it that. But that stuff was gone. And they did the same thing for the psychology course. It was like, okay, you know, we'll teach AP Psychology in high school, but you can't have this other thing. I think it was stuff having to do with gender, sex, and sexuality. All very important stuff in psychology. Like, you can't have anything relating to gender or sex taught in psychology classes in high school, AP Psychology. But apart from that, you can teach it. And then the college board said, well, if you're removing all this stuff, it's no longer AP Psychology. We can't give you the AP credits for that because these are required learning materials. Yeah, Florida bans AP Psychology over gender identity, sexual orientation lessons. Where was the, where was the big punch for this? I think there wasn't really a... Developing story? Yeah, okay, Orlando Sentinel. Yeah, here we go. Our policy remains unchanged. Any course that censors content cannot be labeled AP or advanced placement. I don't know if you remember that 1/6 King race. I'm the bad at games person who made you go the wrong way somehow, lol. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. That's fire. That video was great, I think. You know what's funny is that people followed me. That was what made me make that video segment. Is that, like, I accidentally turned left instead of right because I forgot which way to go and you were turning left. And then, like, 3 people followed me when I turned left. It is funny. Yoshi Circuit? This track is a banger. I love this track. Yeah, I guess with the AP psychology stuff, I guess now there's a like good reason, or at least we've now rediscovered the reason why Florida is perceived to be like really bad at education. This is like one of the reasons they're really bad at it. Because when you get conservatives so in control of the state like this and whatever, anti-education conservatives, mind you, it used to be a lot less obvious when conservatives did this shit. You know, they're just like, you can't teach this, you can't teach this, you can't teach this, you can't teach this. It's like, well, okay, how are we supposed to educate kids then? Like, what were we supposed to do, right? Ah, dang, I didn't get an item box, so. Alas, I am itemless, just like I am also Rizless. Ow. Whew. Fucking Florida, dude. I feel really bad for all the kids going to school in Florida who, like, might have wanted to learn cool shit. Ooh, snipe. Damn it. Oh, I hit somebody. Okay. Oh my god! I'm getting fucked up this race. I'm still in third, fourth, third, somehow. No, that wasn't quite right. This has been hectic. The silver lining here is that Ron DeSantis is term limited. He can't run for governor anymore. I think he served his 8 years. No, he hasn't been governor for 8 years. He's been governor for 4 years. But either way, actually got killed. Lol. Yikes! Yeah, right at the end, huh? That track is really cool. It's a lot of fun when I'm properly paying attention. Lol, my bad. Hey, no apologies needed here. Well, except for Grantham. I'm sure Grantham appreciated that. You know, I'm thinking about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, probably Ron DeSantis might just not win re-election. It depends on who the Democrats run, right? Like, the state Democratic parties in America are very different from each other, right? Like, some of them might be more center-left, like very slight left, like a lot of liberal parties in Europe. And some of them might be more like social democratic or reform socialist parties in Europe, or something like that. It varies state to state. The Florida Democratic Party is notorious for, like, sucking and not being good at what they do, or the shit they try to do. You live in North Georgia, so you're kind of close to Florida? Oh shit, Georgia, where the peaches grow, where they drink lemonade and talk real slow. Very nice state. Belorgia, as it were. Given the kind of stuff that has, I think, happened under Ron DeSantis' tenure as governor, he might not get reelected. Well, I mean, we'll see if I'm, like, huffing hopium here or whatever, or copium or whatever, as 2024 comes around. But it's pretty clear that he's not going to be the president. Like, that much has been clear. And he's not, he hasn't done a whole lot as governor either. It's kind of, dude, I still can't do that part. But regardless, it might still be too little too late for Florida. You know, even if they do get a better, leader. Because, as grim as it is to acknowledge, Florida's going to be underwater in like a couple decades. you know? And like, although that's like enough time for some stuff to happen in like in terms of politics, it's not that long, right? Like, you'd have a hard time getting some really meaningful reforms done in just 20-ish years, right? In fact, actually related to that, I saw that like insurance companies had actually started leaving Florida, which is kind of crazy. There's like property insurance and stuff that I've seen like, oh yeah, a lot more houses are starting to get like swallowed by the increasing sea level and things like that, and like the topography, the like sinkholes and whatever. Things are getting more and more volatile, so we're just gonna not do business in Florida anymore. And you know, that's not a good look for anybody involved, I think. Yay. I win the race. Dr. Robotnik. I don't know. I don't want this stream to be too much of a downer. Because I'm feeling good today. The important thing is that Ron DeSantis is getting mogged. XQC is getting mogged. That makes sense from a business standpoint, but it kind of hurts the company at the same time. That's the thing, is that now that they're making this decision, it's an indication that it might not be very hurtful to the company. Because, like, we're going to stop doing business here as the insurance company because we would have to pay out so many claims that it would, like, actually damage us as a business. So you guys love pulling one mushroom and last? Oh, it's my favorite thing. That sucks, by the way. Major oof. Detected. Alone and Incomplete? That's my favorite movie. Wait, I forget. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's a show. Naked and Afraid is a show. I see. This is what people have been memeing about. So the joke is, Alone and Incomplete, that's my favorite show. I understand now. That will always be the Naked and Afraid track to me. Because I feel both of those things when I'm racing it. I will not elaborate. Gotta go. Glad I could play some races. Hope you have a great stream. Likewise. It was fun. Hope you have a good day. In fact, for folks that are still here, I'm about 10-12 minutes away from ending stream. Usually I go for 2 hours. And I think that would be just as well today. I'm starting to get not super tired, but a little bit tired at least. And I'll be back not on Sunday. Usually I stream every other day, but Sunday is a very special day. It's my birthday on Sunday. I'm turning 23. And a friend of mine is coming over. We're gonna hang out. So, you know, I'll probably stream the day after. Something like that. It'll be nice. It'll be birthday stream. I'll do the birthday boy meme. Ow. Fuck. Hey, look. Honestly, I think the best thing that could potentially come out of that stream, if I were to do, like, day after my birthday special stream, is I get absolutely blown up, and I'm able to smile and laugh the whole time. I think that would be a tremendous victory for me. Given my history with this game particularly. You know. Ooh. Oh, you hit the fake item box. Damn. Kono Dioda. I see. I understand. Kind of? I don't understand. That's a lie. I do in fact understand. I have watched all JoJo. Give me mushroom, please. Ah, dang it. I don't know how to do that without a mushroom. It seems like there are people that can do that without a mushroom. Well, I guess maybe not. That guy just fell off. Also, this is the part of the track where I always get owned. Somehow didn't get owned. I win. I win the race. But yeah, I don't know how to do that part, Shirmless. I would have to practice that offline. But I won't. Because I'm not a dork. I am a dork, but I'm not that much of a dork. Narrator chimes in. His ass was not defeating the dork allegations. Many such cases. Pog. Alright, probably got 2 more races. 2 more. I'm gonna head out. Happy early birthday and have a great day. Thank you, Mins. And likewise, have a great day. Glad you turned out for stream. Glad to... Well, I'm just glad to have anybody in the stream chat, honestly. Small streamer and all that. Gives me a real boost to my vitality stat. Just like in that Earthbound game. Checkered flag, here I come. Lightning McQueen moment. You know, I still kind of want to be on my Pokemon ROM hack arc to an extent. So I think I'm gonna maybe off stream I'll devote some time to looking for a cool Pokemon ROM hack that I want to play on stream. Right? Because I've played a couple on stream already. I played what did I play? I played Pokemon Blaze Black 2 Redux. I played Pokemon Fire Red Rocket Edition, and I played Pokemon Silver Yellow. But beyond that, I haven't really gotten much. You know, the Mario Kart's fun, but I distinctly remember the last time I streamed this game, and also like what made me stop streaming for a while, was that this can be a very tiring game to stream, and so I have to have quite a degree of like energy and hype almost going into it to be able to play, right? Which means I'm gonna have to be a lot more self-conscious about like how I'm feeling on a given day. Not something I'm used to from the perspective of like actual being productive and whatever. Like having gone through college and had like depression or whatever, I was very acutely aware at times of like what I was feeling, how I was feeling, and like the kind of shit going on in my head, but not necessarily in the best sort of way, right? Like not in a way that made me able to do a whole lot about it, which is unfortunate. But if I can well, if I can productively manage myself, then that would be good, I think. And I think that would be, well, it'd be good all around, but it would also be nice for content on this channel, this Twitch channel. God dang it! I thought I could get away with that, but I suppose not. Oh, Usha. No, I took my item boxes. God damn it. No. Get me to the finish line, get me to the finish line! Damn it. Wah. That's a spicy meatball. Ah, well. Who cares about the points, really? I think, you know what? I think that's good for me. I think I needed to be reminded, like, hey, these are just fucking numbers on a screen. Doesn't actually mean anything. It's not even like the stock market where it represents real money. This literally means nothing. And you know, ultimately, I remember saying in the previous last year that eventually I did want to get to like 9,999 VR. I think I'm gonna drop that. I think now I don't have the objective to get to 9,999. I want to not care about that very much, and I think that would help me immensely going forward. From the perspective of enjoying Mario Kart Wii. Because if I'm trying to get to 9,999, then it's like when I lose points, I feel like it actually matters. The reality is, this is Mario Kart. Better player doesn't win. Better player gets the position from first to last, and that's mostly determined by items and shit like that. Obviously, that's an oversimplification, but again, this is just from the perspective of not trying to invest too much emotionally into my performance in this game. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good way to look at it. And this will probably be the last race as well. Ouch. Give me that item box. Yay. Dude, that guy's on Dolphin Dasher? What a legend. I'm following this guy. Damn it. I need to use one of my mushrooms there. Aha! Dude, you know what's kind of crazy? Some people might not know about that shortcut. I just realized. There's like, it's like new school players nowadays might not know about it. I don't know. No, I'm taking the bottom route. Okay. Let me catch up. There we go. You can have first, by the way. Claw Gripper, if you're listening, if you're stream sniping in any capacity, I don't want to take first from you. I'm content to just have this be a nice drive in second place, so. My hands are literally sweating. How hot is it outside? It's not that warm, right? Cards on the table, I have a red shell. And I'm gonna throw it backwards. What? Another one. Stop giving me red shells. Aha. We'll probably get big in time for the shortcut coming up. Oh yeah, we definitely will. Oh my god, how did I do that? Okay, now I want first. Hehe. Oh. Damn it. you'd cross the line already. But that's fine. In that case, wait for everybody else to finish. Oh yeah, people didn't know the track. Wow, we were so far ahead. Oh my god. I did not realize how far ahead me and Claw Gripper were. Wow. Okay. GG's, everybody involved, including Dio, especially Dio. It's good to see some old faces again. Despite my status of being nemesis to Dio, because he fucking did one thing the one time. I got my revenge, that was that. And now that I've done that, let's find somebody to raid on Twitch. Let's go with Moki Doki. Hope y'all like Super Smash Bros. I think. Yeah, it's Moki Zane Friday. He's playing against the best player in the world, IMO. Best Marth probably ever. So raid Moki Doki. Thanks for coming out, all the folks who turned out to watch me play Mario Kart. I will be back probably on Monday, not Sunday, because Sunday's my birthday. Enjoy watching Moki.